June 6, 1944. The western seawall, Omaha Beach, Normandy, France. A steel ramp drops with a deafening metallic scream. The world beyond is a wall of noise, a physical force that hits the men of Charlie Company, 116th Infantry Regiment, in the chest. Water geysers up around the Higgins boat, lashed by machine gun rounds that sound like 1,000 furious hornets tearing through canvas. There is no order to disembark. There is only the open rectangle of hell and the biological imperative to flee the metal coffin. Private First Class Leo Mercer does not run. He freezes. His legs, leaden and numb from the icy channel sloshing in the bottom of the boat, will not obey. The man in front of him, Surdy, from Roanoke, takes 2 steps onto the ramp. His body seems to implode, a red mist erupting from his back as a heavy MG-42 burst from the Widerstandsnist 62 on the bluff above literally tears him apart. The pieces tumble into 3 feet of churning, frothing pink water. Go. Move. Go. The coxswain is screaming, shoving men from behind. A bullet spangs off the ramp an inch from Mercer's boot. The shock of it jolts his nervous system. He lurches forward, plunging into the surf. The cold is a heart-stopping vice. It steals his breath. He staggers, the water clawing at his knees, his thighs, his overloaded pack trying to drown him. He is in a forest of screaming men, falling men, and the relentless, horizontal sleet of German fire. It comes from everywhere, from the concrete bunkers dotting the bluff, from the fortified houses of Vierville-sur-Mer at the beach exit, from unseen positions in the draws. The sound is layered, the deep thump-thump of anti-tank guns, the sharper crack of rifles, and over it all, the sustained, ripping snarl of the Spandaus. The air smells of salt, wet wool, cordite, and the coppery, gut-churning scent of blood. He wades toward a solitary iron hedgehog obstacle 20 yards ahead, its angular legs offering the only semblance of cover in a flat, murderous expanse of wet sand and tidal flats. His mind has shut down. There is no thought of the mission, of the bluffs, of France. There is only the next yard, the next breath, the iron post. A bullet winds off it, sparking. He throws himself behind it, landing beside 2 others. One is praying, a rapid, sobbing Catholic litany. The other is dead, staring at the gray sky with quiet surprise, a neat hole in his forehead. Mercer's weapon is not the M1 Garand slung across his back. It is in his hands, clutched to his chest like a holy relic. An M1903A4 Springfield sniper rifle, its Weaver M73B1 scope capped with rubber, its wooden stock water-darkened and slick. The Garand is for the immediate, desperate fight. The Springfield is for the mission. The mission he is currently failing. The mission brief, 2 days ago, on the pitching deck of the USS Charles Carroll Star. Major Caldwell's pointer tapping a large-scale mosaic photograph. This is the D1 draw at Vierville. Your beach exit. Intel shows 6 active MG nests here, here, and here. The pointer moved up the bluff. They have interlocking fields of fire. They will pin down the entire first wave. Your team's sole objective, Mercer, neutralize those machine gun teams. You have the range. You have the rifle. You get off the beach, find a perch, and you start putting them down. The infantry cannot move until you do. Asterisk. He cannot get off the beach. He is pinned, like everyone else. The entire first wave is being methodically annihilated against the shale and sand. He fumbles with the Garand, his fingers clumsy and frozen. He peers around the edge of the hedgehog. 100 yards to his left, an LCA burns, oily black smoke pouring into the sky. Men are jumping from its sides into deep water, only to vanish under the weight of their gear. To his right, a Sherman DD tank, its flotation screen collapsed, sits helplessly in the surf, taking hit after hit from an anti-tank gun until it brews up with a deep whump, ammunition cooking off inside. He has to move. Staying here is death. The tide is rising, lapping at his boots. Soon, this scant cover will be underwater. He sees a path, not a path, but a series of slight depressions, scattered debris, and the ghastly cover of the fallen, leading diagonally toward the base of the bluff, maybe 150 yards away. A ravine, a fold in the cliff face, promises deeper shadow. Covering fire, he rasps to the praying soldier beside him. The man, a kid named Donnelly, looks at him with blank terror. Mercer points. On my signal. Shoot at the bunker. The big one. Just make noise. Donnelly nods, swallowing his prayers, and brings his M1 to his shoulder. Mercer takes a breath that does nothing to calm the hammering in his ribs. He heaves himself up and lunges into a low, stumbling sprint. The world narrows to the slap of his boots on wet sand, the sucking sound as he pulls them free. He expects the impact at any second. He zigzags, his body coiled for the blow. Donnelly's rifle barks behind him, joined by a few others. It is a pathetic, token response, but it might draw a fraction of attention. He covers 50 yards. His lungs are on fire. A shell crater appears to his front, filled with water and 3 still forms. He dives into it, the stinking water closing over his head for a second. He comes up sputtering. The base of the bluff is closer now. The ravine is a dark scar in the yellowish clay. But the last 70 yards are completely open, a gently sloping beach apron. He is trapped again. He presses himself against the crater's edge, peering over. His sniper's eyes, trained for detail, scan the bluff face. He is looking for a shadow that doesn't belong. A muzzle flash that repeats. His view of the primary bunkers is oblique now, but he can see one clearly. The firing slit of Widerstandsnist 65, a dark horizontal line from which a continuous jet of tracer fire streams down onto the beach. Range, approximately 400 yards. Angle, severe uphill. Wind, strong left to right off the channel. He makes a decision. It is tactical insanity. It violates every principle of sniping. Find concealment, establish a stable position, observe. He has none of that. He has a crater and a rising tide. He unslings the Springfield from his back, shrugging off his sodden pack. He pops the rubber caps from the scope. The world magnifies, a trembling circle of horror and detail. He settles the rifle against the crater's lip, packing wet sand beneath the forestock to stabilize it. He is completely exposed from the waist up. He finds the firing slit in the scope. It is a dark, unwavering line. He cannot see the gunners. He must aim at the source of the tracers. He controls his breathing. In out. The chaos recedes. The screams, the explosions, the ripping burp of the MG-42, they become a muffled backdrop. In the scope, there is only the slit. He calculates the uphill angle. He holds over, aiming at the top lip of the concrete aperture. The wind is strong. He holds into it, the crosshairs drifting left of the target. His finger touches the trigger. The Springfield barks, its report sharper, cleaner than the Garins and Mausers around him. The recoil is a firm, familiar punch into his shoulder. He works the bolt, the smooth, positive throw, a relic of a different era. He ejects the spent brass, chambers another .30-06 round. He does not look to see if he hit. He fires again, and again, 3 rounds in 10 seconds. A disciplined, rapid volley into the same spot. The stream of tracer from the bunker falters. Stops. For 5 seconds, there is no fire from that aperture. It is enough. A squad of rangers, pinned further down the beach, seize the opening. They rise as one and sprint across the open sand toward a network of anti-tank ditches at the base of the bluff. They make it. Mercer's action has drawn attention. A sniper's bullet, distinct in its solitary crack, kicks up sand 6 inches from his elbow. They've spotted his position. He has to move. Now, he slings the Springfield, grabs his pack, and erupts from the crater in a final, desperate sprint for the ravine. Bullets kick at his heels. He feels a tug on his uniform jacket near the shoulder. A hot lance of pain. He stumbles, but doesn't fall. The mouth of the ravine, a narrow, eroded gully, swallows him. He collapses behind a large chalk boulder, gasping. He checks his shoulder. A shallow furrow, just a graze, but it bleeds freely, mixing with seawater and sweat. He is off the beach. He is in the labyrinth of the bluff. The sounds change here. They are more contained, echoing off the chalk walls. The roar of the beach is a constant din behind him. But here he can hear individual weapons, shouts in German from above, the crunch of debris under his own boots. The ravine climbs steeply, a natural drainage choked with barbed wire, mine warnings, and the shattered remains of French fishing nets strung up as obstacles. He begins to climb, using roots and rocks for handholds. His mission reasserts itself in his mind, a cold, clear order amidst the panic. Neutralize the machine gun teams. He has silenced one, temporarily. There are 5 more. He climbs for 20 minutes, his muscles screaming. The sound of a Spandau, very close now, guides him. It is firing in short, controlled bursts, conserving ammunition, choosing targets. Mercer moves with glacial slowness, crawling on his belly over the crest of a small rise within the ravine. He peers through a thicket of seagrass. 30 yards ahead, on a man-made terrace cut into the bluff, is a machine gun nest. It is not a massive concrete bunker, but a cleverly constructed towbrook, a small, reinforced pit with a circular opening for the gun. 2 men, a gunner and a loader. They are focused entirely on the beach below, their backs to him. They have clear fields of fire down 2 sectors of Omaha. Their flanks are protected by concertina wire. They feel secure. Mercer settles in. He is above and behind them. The range is point blank for the Springfield, 80 yards. No wind in the gully. A simple shot. But there are 2 of them. He must drop the gunner first, then the loader before he can grab a weapon. He breathes. The wood of the Springfield stock is warm where his cheek rests. He remembers the armory back in England, the gruff sergeant handing him the rifle while his squad mates got their new Garants. Springfield? That's a great war relic, Sarge. You giving him a musket? The laughter. Mercer had just taken the rifle. He knew its history, knew its potential, knew that in the hands of a man who understood it, the relic was a precision instrument of terrifying efficiency. The crosshairs settle on the base of the gunner's skull, where his helmet meets his field gray collar. Mercer exhales half his breath. Holds. The rifle cracks. The gunner slumps forward onto his weapon. The loader stares, stunned for a critical second. He looks at his comrade, then turns, his eyes scanning the bluff behind him, wide with confusion. He does not see Mercer, camouflaged in the grass and dirt. Mercer has already worked the bolt. The loader reaches for the MG-42's grip, trying to pivot it. Mercer's second round takes him high in the chest, punching him back against the earth wall of the pit. Silence from the terrace. Mercer waits. Counts to 60. No movement. He slithers backward, then circles wide, approaching the pit from the flank, his Garand now in hand. Both Germans are dead. He quickly gathers their ammunition, their Mauser 98K rifle, a fine weapon, but with inferior optics, and rolls a grenade into the pit to destroy the MG-42. The explosion is muffled, lost in the beach cacophony. He has eliminated 2 of 6. He becomes a ghost in the bluffs. A rumor. He moves along the high ground, using the chaos, the smoke, the German fixation on the beach below. He finds a collapsed observation post with a clear view of another bunker complex guarding the D1 draw. Range, 550 yards. He has time here. He builds a small rest from rubble. He takes his time. He observes. He identifies the bunker's air vent, a narrow vertical slit. A round through there could ricochet inside, causing havoc. He fires. The vent spalls concrete dust. The machine gun fire from that bunker becomes erratic, then ceases for several minutes. 3 down. The afternoon wears on. The battle is a living thing, shifting and pulsing. American units, led by brave junior officers and NCOs, are finally scaling the draws, using Bangalore torpedoes to blow paths through the wire. The German defense is no longer a monolithic wall of fire. It is becoming a series of isolated strongpoints. Mercer's world is the crosshairs, the wind, the range card he mentally updates. He takes a shot at a German officer directing mortar fire from a communications trench. 350 yards. Hit. The mortars stop adjusting. 4. He engages a sniper team operating from the steeple of the Vierville church. 700 yards. His longest shot of the day. The first round misses, kicking up stone. He adjusts, factoring in the significant drop. His second round shatters a window. The third silences the enemy rifle. 5. He is exhausted beyond measure. His body runs on adrenaline and dread. His mouth is full of the taste of grit and gunpowder. Every muscle trembles with fatigue. But the mission is not complete. The 6th machine gun nest is the most dangerous. It is part of a larger strongpoint at the very top of the draw, a complex of trenches and dugouts protecting the artillery spotter's position. It has clear, plunging fire down the entire exit route. As long as it lives, The infantry bottlenecking at the base of the draw cannot advance. To reach it, he must cross an open saddle of land, visible from multiple positions. It is suicide. He watches from cover as two separate American probing attacks are cut down by the nest's interlocking fire with another position. He needs a diversion. He spots a Sherman tank that has miraculously made it off the beach and is nosing up the draw, its 75mm gun barking at pillboxes. It is the center of all German attention. This is his chance. He breaks cover and runs, not in a crouch, but upright, using the tank's thunderous engagement as his auditory camouflage. He covers the 80 yards of open ground in a haze of motion and fear. A bullet tugs at his trousers. Another snaps past his ear. He dives into a German communication trench on the far side, rolling into its bottom. He lies there, panting, his heart trying to burst from his ribs. He follows the trench. It is empty, leading toward the strong point. He rounds a corner and comes face to face with a young German soldier, fumbling with a box of stick grenades. The boy's eyes go wide. Mercer's reaction is faster, born of 1,000 hours of close-quarters drill. The bayonet on his Garand, rarely used by snipers, but he carried it for this reason, lunges forward in a short, brutal thrust. It is a horrible, intimate violence. The German makes a small, sighing sound and slides down the trench wall. Mercer steps over him, his stomach churning. He can hear the chatter of the MG-42 now, very close. He peers over the trench parapet. He is behind and to the left of the 6th nest. It is a well-constructed emplacement with a thick roof of logs and earth. The gunner is focused down the draw, firing long, sweeping bursts. The loader feeds the belts. A third man, an NCO, observes with binoculars. Mercer has no clear shot. The embrasure is facing away. He would have to show himself fully to fire into the position. He looks at his remaining equipment. 2 grenades. His Garand, half a clip left. The Springfield, 2 rounds in the magazine. He makes his plan. He pulls the pin on a grenade, cooks it off for a 2 count, and lobs it in a high arc. It is not meant to hit the pit. It lands on the ground in front of the embrasure and explodes with a concussive crump, showering the position with dirt and debris. The German gunner instinctively ducks back, the firing ceasing. The NCO and loader turn, looking out, confused by the attack from their front. This is the moment. Mercer rises from the trench, the Springfield shouldered. He is exposed. The range is 40 yards. He fires at the loader, a snapshot. The man drops. He works the bolt, ejecting the last casing. He chambers his final round. The NCO has turned, drawing a Luger. Mercer's last .30-06 round strikes him center mass. The gunner is now scrambling to bring his heavy weapon to bear on this sudden, point-blank threat. Mercer drops the Springfield and draws his Colt M1911 pistol. He charges the nest, closing the distance in 4 long strides. The gunner is swinging the massive MG-42 around, his face a mask of frantic effort. Mercer fires the .45 twice through the embrasure. The gunner jerks and falls back. Silence. Mercer slumps against the cool earth of the German fortification, utterly spent. He listens. The machine gun fire from this sector of the bluff has stopped. Below, he can hear new sounds, the shouts of American sergeants, the whistle of a new, organized advance. The D-1 draw is being cleared. Infantry, in larger numbers now, are moving up the path, past his position, heading inland. A ranger lieutenant, his face blackened with soot, pauses beside the nest. He looks at the 3 dead Germans, at the expensive, scoped Springfield rifle on the ground, and at Mercer, a gaunt, bloody figure leaning against the fortification with a smoking pistol in his hand. You do this?" the lieutenant asks, his voice ragged. Mercer just nods, too tired to speak. The lieutenant nods back, a look of profound understanding passing between them. He moves on, yelling to his men. Draws clear. Move up. Move up. Mercer does not move for a long time. He sits in the late afternoon sun, the smoke of D-Day drifting around him like a shroud. He picks up his Springfield, gently ejects the final, spent brass. He runs a trembling hand over the wooden stock, stained with salt water, blood, and the grime of this longest day. The relic, the peasant's stick. It had spoken 22 times today. It had not missed once. He had 42 confirmed kills from training to this moment. But today it had written its history in fire and lead. He hears the distant, hopeful sound of bagpipes, a Scottish unit landing somewhere down the beach. The tide is coming in, washing over the fallen on the sand below, a relentless, natural cleansing. The battle for Omaha is far from over, but the wall has been breached. And in a small, critical part, it was breached because a man with a wooden stock rifle remembered his training, listened to the wind, and did his duty, one impossible shot at a time. He closes his eyes, not to sleep, but to momentarily escape the sight of the world he has helped to change. The weight of the rifle across his lap is the only thing that feels real.